What's going on, YouTubers? So Prime One just did their showcase. I thought about recording it live, but I didn't want to do that. I just want to talk about my thoughts, some of the statues, some that I'm 100% getting, and so forth. So let's talk about the first one, My Hero Academy. Now, I am actually a huge fan of that show. I consider it like DBZ good. It is ridiculously good. And if I collected other animes, I'd 100% buy that. I think they absolutely nailed it with all the characters that I love. Even having the All Might statue in the back, they freaking nailed it. Wow. If you collect anime, get that. That thing's amazing. That show is so good, by the way. Seriously. So I was very impressed with that. And I'll be showing pictures here as I'm talking. Then we showed off the new Prime 1 Transformer statue. So, Blackout, which I really liked that scene, by the way. That was super cool. That Scorpionox thing, the Scorpion type Transformer, looked really cool, and it's not too big. I'm curious if I could fit that somehow in my Transformer room. That's kind of tempting. I'll probably not get it, though. I have no connection to that. It's just a cool looking Scorpion Transformer. So that was very impressive. And then we saw a lot of different comic statues. That's not my forte. They're pretty cool. I like the Wonder Woman fighting the Hydra quite a bit. But you know me, I'm a movie collector, so I'm going to focus on that. I like all the comic stuff. I think it's cool. The Wonder Woman versus Hydra is freaking amazing. If I collected comic, 100% would buy that. I just don't have connection to comics, and I don't read comics. You know, I love movies. But then we got to, finally, Ghost of Tsushima. Oh my gosh. It literally, and I'm not exaggerating, put me in tears of joy. I'm so happy with how this statue turned out. My gosh. So, two portraits, the exact two I want, perfect likeness to Jin Sakai. And it incorporates everything I love about that game. When you're trying to find out where to go and the wind blows the leaves, so they have the leaves on the base. They got the fox den, and I remember collecting those foxes. I remember following that little golden yellow bird, seeing the statues, and the pose is so iconic. Oh, so this is a day one pre-order from Prime One Direct, standard shipping. I'm not going through retail. I'm not waiting additional months. This is my favorite video game of all time, tied with God of War, the new one. But that game was just the game that's like, you were just so happy you got to experience this. Like, it is just breathtakingly good game. And I am so happy Prime 1 made this statue. It's really a dream come true for me after playing that game. So, day one pre-order, standard shipping. And then they did show off the Devil May Cry 5 line, and I gotta say, it is extremely tempting. Like, let's go look at my video game statue room. So, honestly, I want to get more video game statues because I am a huge gamer. I play video games all day. I've been playing Horizon Zero Dawn for probably 8 hours today, and I freaking love it. So, I got very limited video game statue space. I've honestly thought of putting nothing but video game statues right here, just selling that all off, finding a different spot for Wonder Woman bust, and freaking doing video game statues there because I freaking love video games. So the Devil May Cry line sort of reminds me of the Witcher line, and they take about the same amount of space, but those ones are even taller. You know, like Dante's like 29 inches tall to the top of his sword. So they're quite tall statues, and the bases are actually quite big. Like they're as big as Bloodborne base from looking at the measurements. So these are very big statues. They're also about $1,000 each. So if you got all four main characters, you're looking at, with shipping, $5,000. I think it would probably be worth it. They all look amazing, and I actually really like each of the characters. I love V. Oh, that statue is so cool. V was such a cool character. And then, of course, Dante, freaking love him. Now, I got this one. Got Virgil, his brother. You know, I really love Devil May Cry 5. For me, that's the one that I think I like the most. Although, I really need to go back and replay all of them, to be honest. I got the HD collection right there. After I beat Horizon Zero Dawn, I think I might just go through and beat all Devil May Cries. Because I really do love those games. I think Dante's a badass. I think him, Kratos, are some of my favorite, you know, characters from video games. I am definitely considering at least Dante from Devil May Cry 5. If I can somehow fit it in my display, I'm trying to figure that out. Jin Sakai is going to go right there, though. And then Aloy and Bloodborne, Kratos. I mean, I have this Dante from the original Devil May Cry, and this one's amazing, and I don't plan to sell it. But I do want to get Devil May Cry 5. I'm just trying to think where I could put it. It's really difficult. You know, it's like, I don't know where to put it because I'm out of video game statue space. You know, unless I was to sell those two, but I really like those two. They look so good, and I have such great memories of those two video games. You know, and I'm not selling my Scorpion and Sub-Zero bust. It's very difficult because I want to get those, but I don't know what I could sell or what I could do to get more video game space. But the Devil May Cry 5 line, let's get back to that. I absolutely love it. I think they're amazing. I think they absolutely killed it on the Devil May Cry 5 line. I think it's as good, if not better, than the Witcher line. So it really does make me want to get it. I really, really like it. It's just a matter of space and obviously also funds. I would have to sell something to fund it. Now, they also revealed the Devil May Cry 5 Dante half scale, and I think that thing's incredible. Wowzers, they really knocked that out of the park for a half scale. So very, very impressive. I'd probably still just stick to the 1/4 for space and money, though. Then we get to the statue I thought would never come. 2 years I waited, and I ended up buying this Queen Studios version. Then they show it off, finally. Now, I'm not selling Queen, but I'm going to say straight off the bat, yes, I'm buying the Prime 1 Joker 1/3. I absolutely love it. I love the base, the concept, the pose. It's the purple jacket. It's standing up, slightly hunched, but he's holding the card and the machine gun, which is basically like the Sideshow one, honestly. It's very similar pose-wise, and I actually really like that pose, and I sold the Sideshow, but they killed it. They did, real hair. The eyes and teeth look amazing. Like, God, they really killed it. Blitzway just knocked it out of the park. I'm really, I think they just nailed it. It's like, looks like a perfect Ledger statue. So I'll figure it out. I might have to get a third glass shelf here, and extend those out to right there and just have 3 1/3s, and it opens up an additional space in the middle here to display something inside. But I'm definitely going to get the 1/3 Ledger. I'll just have 2 1/3s. Ledger, to me, he's a legend. I freaking love The Dark Knight. It's one of the best movies ever made. So I'm completely fine having 2 1/3 Ledgers. Now, I wouldn't display them together. I would probably move that one inside the glass shelf because it actually would fit. Not with that base, but if I just did them on top of this bench inside here, it could actually fit. So I might actually consider that and then do the Prime 1 1/3 Ledger right there. And then I'd move that bust inside there or sell it. We'll see, but I definitely want to get it. So it's definitely going to come to the collection. I need the ultimate 1/3 Ledger, and this one's really good, but it's not the ultimate. I think Prime 1's better. I need to see more pictures to determine what has a truly superior head sculpt, but I was very impressed with what we saw. Now, they showed off a bunch of other stuff like Batman vs. Superman, comic stuff, a lot of comic stuff that really doesn't interest me, but the other thing that was absolutely amazing, Frodo. Wowzers, that was incredible. That is so much better than my Frodo. Let's check out my Frodo so I can show you. Now, I feel like Frodo is the weakest of my Lord of the Rings statues. Now, I love my Gollum. It's very iconic. Now, it's kind of hard to see because I have this freaking Predator bust. My buyer just delayed again on me. So I got this Frodo, and it's a different costume per se. It's more of the beginning. And it's okay, but the Prime 1 is way better. The Gollum, they actually use real hair, where mine is just sculpted, that's just sculpted and painted. It's not real hair. Theirs is definitely next level, like the sculpted feet, like they did real hair. The eyes, the likeness is way better. I gotta say, I'm really tempted on this Lord of the Rings line. I mean, I like my Aragorn and Legolas. I think it's good for a 5-year-old statue. But their Lord of the Rings line is extremely tempting. You know, Lord of the Rings for me is the best trilogy ever made. And I have the entire Sideshow line. So it, it's a really difficult one because I think Prime One's knocking it out of the park and theirs are better. Their Legolas and Aragorn is way better than mine. It's also triple the cost. And they're also extremely difficult to display. Like they'd have to all be top shelf statues. They're all 27 inches tall. Only Frodo's small. That one's like manageable. Like I could easily fit Frodo there if I sold that Frodo. Granted, I don't know if I'd want to sell my Gollum because I really like the pose on my Gollum. I'd probably have to remove Gollum and display him elsewhere and just have multiple Gollum statues. It is very tempting. I really like the Prime One Frodo. I think they absolutely nailed it. And their whole Lord of the Rings line is extremely impressive. I really, really like it. I think if you're wanting to get into Lord of the Rings, definitely go all in on Prime One. I'm trying to avoid it just because it's a big rabbit hole. It's going to be very expensive. I don't have a lot of space. So I don't know how I would do it, to be honest. But I might get at least Gimli if I can. I don't know where I'd put it. I could always sell that whole thing and throw a 1/4 in there instead of those. I may do that, like get a Gimli statue or something. I want to get at least one Prime One Lord of the Rings statue because they are just so impressive. But I would say the big highlights for me are, obviously Ghost of Tsushima, Ledger 1/3. Those are two I'm 100% buying. I don't know if I would buy the Frodo just because it's a big rabbit hole. If I get that one, I'll want the other ones. So I don't know. I don't think I'll buy it. We'll see. I mean, I could definitely fit it if I sold my Frodo. So it's definitely a consideration. I need to see the pricing because it looks like it'd be $1,200. Because Prime One's been upping I feel like Prime One's doing a good job on upping the quality. Like they've been improving their statues where Sideshow's barely improving. Prime One's upping their game. They're doing really good work. But their prices also reflect that. Like a 1/4 is averaging over $1,000 now. We called it years ago saying the average 1/4 would be $1,000. And, I expect Ghost of Tsushima to be $1,000, $1,200. And I am going to pay that because it's Ghost of Tsushima. Ledger 1/3, I think that'll cost $1,200 to $1,500, but it'll be worth it. So I'm definitely getting those two. Day one pre-orders, I'll go direct with both, to be honest. Standard shipping on both because I don't want to wait an extra 3 to 4 months for those. Anyways, that is my thoughts. I really like how Prime One does these events, especially during COVID. And honestly, I prefer this over seeing the whole cons where there's a million people around it. You can't get good photos. I prefer this. I think they're doing a genius job. Prime One, and I'm glad they're doing English, not just Japanese the whole time. And they have, really great actors or people they've hired to do the videos. So props to you, Prime One. Good job. You guys really have outdone yourself, and you're coming out with statues that us collectors have really longed for. So thank you very much, Prime One Studios. You continue to be my favorite statue company. So that's it, folks. Let me know your thoughts and comments below. Some of the statues you guys will be buying, and have a great day. Make sure you hit that like and share button on your way out. See you next time.